It establishes a bipartisan committee of Congress to report back by November with a proposal to further reduce the deficit, which will then be put before the entire Congress for an up or down vote. In this stage, everything will be on the table to hold us all accountable for making these reforms. Tough cuts that both parties would find objectionable would automatically go into effect if we don't act. And over the next few months, I'll continue to make a detailed case to these lawmakers about why I believe a balanced approach is necessary to finish the job. Now, is this the deal I would have preferred? No. I believe that we could have made the tough choices required on entitlement reform and tax reform right now, rather than through a special congressional committee process. But this compromise does make a serious down payment on the deficit reduction we need and gives each party a strong incentive to get a balanced plan done before the end of the year. Most importantly, it will allow us to avoid default and end the crisis that Washington imposed on the rest of America. It ensures also that we will not face this same kind of crisis again in 6 months or 8 months or 12 months. And it will begin to lift the cloud of debt and the cloud of uncertainty that hangs over our economy. Now, this process has been messy. It's taken far too long. I've been concerned about the impact that it has had on business confidence and consumer confidence and the economy as a whole over the last month. Nevertheless, ultimately, the leaders of both parties have found their way toward compromise, and I want to thank them for that. Most of all, I want to thank the American people. It's been your voices, your letters, your emails, your tweets, your phone calls that have compelled Washington to act in the final days. And the American people's voice is a very, very powerful thing. We're not done yet. I want to urge members of both parties to do the right thing and support this deal with your votes over the next few days. It will allow us to avoid default. It will allow us to pay our bills. It will allow us to start reducing our deficit in a responsible way. And it will allow us to turn to the very important business of doing everything we can to create jobs, boost wages, and grow this economy faster than it's currently growing. That's what the American people sent us here to do, and that's what we should be devoting all of our time to accomplishing in the months ahead. Thank you very much, everybody.
Mr. President, what's your message to Democrats who are worried about this plan?
And that was U.S. President Barack Obama at the White House. He said that this is a deal that he did not prefer, and this will allow, though, the U.S. government to avoid a default. He preferred that the wealthier pay their share in taxes. Everything will be on the table, and according to him, the government will continue to make a detailed case for increasing the debt ceiling. And for more now, and we're joined from Washington, D.C. by Jane O'Brien. Jane, can you tell us more about what President Obama said?
Well, I think the key to this is that he's talking about a compromise that neither party actually likes very much. The Democrats are very concerned that it doesn't raise any revenue through taxes, the balanced approach that the President alluded to there. And the Republicans won't like it because many of them will think it doesn't go far enough. And, of course, there are still the Tea Party holdouts who still think that the debt ceiling shouldn't be raised at all until much more stringent cuts are made. So there is plenty in this compromise deal for everybody to hate, basically. And the key is, this is a deal between the leaders so far and the presidents. They still have to sell this to the rank and file in their parties, and that's why we're going to see meetings with all concerned tomorrow. No vote tonight. All concerned will be meeting again tomorrow with a possible vote tomorrow. There is still a long way to go. A deal is being talked about, but it hasn't yet been finalized.